Hello and welcome. Today we're going to explore a really different way of looking at life's constant ups and downs, and we're drawing from the teachings of the Buddhist monk Ajahn Sumedho. So if you've ever felt like you're just stuck on a hamster wheel chasing happiness and always ending up a little disappointed, well, this explainer might just offer a path to a much more stable, lasting kind of peace. Okay, so let's dive in with a really simple but powerful image, the perfect rose. You know the one. It's at its absolute peak, it's vibrant, beautiful, you can't find a single flaw, and we just want to freeze that moment forever. But right there, according to Ajahn Sumedho, that attachment to one perfect moment, that's the very root of the problem. And this really gets at a feeling we all know so well, doesn't it? This endless chase. We're always looking for that lasting happiness in our jobs, in our relationships, in our next vacation, in a world where, just like that rose, nothing, and I mean nothing, ever stays the same. But what if we've been looking at this whole thing completely backwards? What if true perfection isn't that one single perfect snapshot in time? Ajahn Sumedho suggests that the truly perfect rose is the one that goes through its entire journey, from a little seed to a bud to that full bloom, and then, even to wilting and decaying back into the earth. Perfection is the whole messy, beautiful cycle. So, why does chasing that perfect moment lead to so much stress and dissatisfaction? Well, the diagnosis in this way of thinking is that we're fundamentally misunderstanding reality. And it all boils down to three core truths or characteristics that apply to literally everything. First up, everything is impermanent. Nothing has a fixed point. That amazing feeling of joy you get, that sting from a harsh word, even our own bodies, they all show up and then they all pass away. It's just a constant, unstoppable flow. So, second, because everything is always changing, if we try to pin our lasting happiness on any of it, it's just inherently stressful, unsatisfying. Even pleasure is fleeting, right? As soon as one good feeling starts to fade, we're already off on the hunt for the next one, never really finding a place to just rest. And third, and this is a big one, the idea that there's some kind of permanent, separate me at the center of all this is seen as an illusion. The experiences we have, love, anger, pain, they aren't our personal property or some unique flaw. They're just universal conditions of nature flowing through us. And this isn't meant to be depressing. It's actually seen as incredibly liberating. Okay, so if we can't change the fact that reality is always in flux, what's the prescription? What do we do? Well, it's not about trying to control the world out there. It's all about training our own mind's reaction to it. It's about changing our relationship with what happens. Now, to really get this, Ajahn Sumedho uses this fantastic metaphor. He says the untrained mind is like a wild horse. It's just used to galloping off wherever it pleases, chasing after desires, running away from fears, just totally lost in its own thoughts. But you don't tame a wild horse by breaking its spirit, right? It's much more gentle. It's about slowly introducing some limits, kind of like building a corral. At first, sure, the mind fights it. But by just surrendering to those limits, that constant struggle starts to fade. The mind begins to settle, to calm down, and it becomes supple and flexible enough to be guided by wisdom, not just by every little impulse.
So how do we actually do this? How do we build this corral for the mind? The method isn't some complex secret ritual. It's a practice that's available to every single one of us at any moment, and it's profoundly simple.
The key here is to turn our attention away from all the big ideas and extraordinary things we could chase. Instead, we turn towards the most ordinary, most overlooked process we have, our own breath. This practice is called ānāpānasati, and the instruction couldn't be simpler. Just be aware of your breath as it is. Don't try to control it, just feel it come in and feel it go out. And look, your mind is going to wander. That's what minds do. The practice isn't to force it to stop. It's to just patiently and kindly bring your attention back to the breath, again and again, with zero judgment. And this brings us to a really crucial point about the goal of this whole thing. We're not using this practice to chase after yet another temporary feeling, not even a blissful one. The aim is something much, much more stable. So here's the kicker. The pursuit of happiness is actually part of the cycle of dissatisfaction. Why? Because happiness itself is just another temporary condition that comes and goes. The real goal is a deep, unshakable peace called Nibbāna that doesn't depend on getting what you want. It's a kind of clarity that can exist right alongside all of life's ups and downs. Think of it like this. Imagine for your entire life, you've been looking at the world through a really dirty window. And because of that, everything just seems kind of gray and grimy. The practice of meditation doesn't change the world outside the window. All it does is clean the glass. It allows all that mental grime, our fears, our opinions, our desires, to come up and then pass away, so that we can finally see things as they really are, with total clarity.
So we'll end on this final, pretty provocative thought. The real suffering doesn't come from who we are, but from our absolute belief that we are every fleeting thought, every passing emotion. So what if you knew, deep down, that these things weren't the real you, but just weather passing through? What might you be willing to just let go of?